It's Week 15 of the NFL. We'll see Baker Mayfield as he's moved past 3,000 yards passing for the year and looking for more. It's the Barons and the Raiders, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 23.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today we reach Week 15 and we've got a good matchup in store between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Brooklyn Barons. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at our visitors coming into play here. They know coming in they've got to be at their best because they're facing one of the better overall defenses in the NFL.
And this is not one of the better offenses around in terms of running the football. So they understand that they're going to be put to the test a bit. The big plays in the run game, they haven't been there of late. So maybe that means we'll see them shake things up a little bit. Some RPOs, some touch passes, some draw plays. Anything to try and gain a little bit of momentum.
Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week, and we are underway from Brooklyn. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Comes this offense to take over for the first time. Under center, it's the 2017 Heisman Trophy winner as you get a look at Baker Mayfield.
And what a performance in his last game. A couple of touchdown passes, that was positive.
But more than 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that's not what he's looking for. What did Vince Lombardi say, though? Winning isn't everything.
It's the only thing.
And that's what he hangs his hat on after last week's game.
Mayfield on play action. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
On the carry, it's Holmes. And he'll get about 3 up past the 25. Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Mayfield now. And that is incomplete. Blake Gillikin on the punt now on 4th down. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So now it's the Raiders' turn to go on offense for the first time. And a look here now at their 4th-year quarterback.
Now, he wasn't playing that last game right here on earth, was he? I mean, there's just no way. I mean, that performance, that number of times getting the ball into the end zone, throwing it.
No interceptions,
No interceptions, took care of it. Yeah, he was a little otherworldly in his last performance.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 18 carries, 97 yards, and a touchdown.
And that score solidified his standing at the top of the touchdown chart. And right now, he's looking to finish this season strong with a few more.
Cutler will throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. On 3rd down, Cutler. And that will be incomplete.
That was the first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down. The numbers for him from a week ago: 21 carries, 63 yards.
And a rushing title is definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there, but they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
And the tight end is certainly in position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Here's Holmes. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. A run now with Holmes. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 47. They'll run. This is Holmes. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 41 line.
They'll run with Holmes. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Brought down at the 39-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 2.
On 3rd down, Cowan. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Mayfield. Forced out to his left. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
He's tackled at the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
On 2nd down now, it's Holmes. And he'll be taken down at the 34.
He's tackled at the 34-yard line. A 1-yard pickup brings up 3rd.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
A 51-yard attempt.
Carlson able to put this one through, and that'll make it 3-0 here in the first. Well, both teams kind of feeling each other out here. Now after 3 drives, we have a score with that field goal.
Yeah, they're still waiting for their breakout drive to come to them, all right? They're using the playbook well. They're looking for that extra section that says touchdowns instead of field goals. But they'll take the 3 for now and try and get set up for more later.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their futures. They look ahead to the offseason. What spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
They'll throw on first down with Cutler.
On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Throwing here, Cutler. In trouble, and he's taken down.
Quentin Williams in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look.
And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
They go play action. Mayfield. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Max Crosby, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6.
Let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Mayfield to throw it. It's caught. Reception by Holmes. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Here's Mayfield. Holmes has got it complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it. But it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop it before he could get to the marker.
Blake Gillikin on a punt here as he'll send this one away.
Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. 1st and 10. It's Cutler. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Cutler. Catch is made by Hardman. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
Charles, to move the chains that time, they had to complete it into double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his 1-on-2 matchup.
So here's the 1st and 10 at the 38. Counter play with Jacobs. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. On 2nd down, Cutler. That's caught left side by Hardman. 3 catches now this afternoon, the same number he had all of last week. Also, it's a 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. On 2nd down, here's Cutler. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up the 1st down.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. After 1 on EA Sports. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3. Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Mayfield knocks this forward. It's a jet sweep. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. On 2nd down, it's Holmes. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Now he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Ambly Thomas.
There he goes, right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick 6.
And I know from experience throughout the week, when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick 6s and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone. What a quick start to the drive, but not for the team that really needed it. In only a few seconds, the opposing QB found himself on the turf, and the defense is celebrating second and long.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They run the counter. Holmes.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now Mayfield lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jacobs going to try the middle. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Now it's Cutler. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Cutler down. A throw on 3rd down. Caught right side. Davis. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the 1st down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
On 1st down, it's Cutler. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Now Cutler. Steps away to his left. And he'll just get rid of it. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And this won't get there, won't be on line either. It's no good, off to the right, and this will stay a 4-point game.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out and try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through. And that one winds up no good.
Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together. and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. On third down, it's Holmes. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Right back to him on first down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Holmes. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
It's a gain of 2. Brings up
3rd and short yardage. Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Barons have regained the lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dialed up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Couldn't do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try and go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Now Cutler to throw on 2nd down. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. Just a gain of a couple there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. Out of the gun, it's Cutler. Same target. It's Jacobs again. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
Boy, a lot of moving parts on this play, but what a nice design to leak the running back out to the left and send him down the field. And a good job spotting him and hitting him for a big play.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now Cutler. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. It's caught by Davis.
And they're going to be set up now with a ball at the 13-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
2nd and 5.
Throwing again, it's Cutler.
Right back to Davis. It's complete. And the Raiders are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Jacobs trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1.
Here's Cutler to throw.
Touchdown Raiders. Mecole Hardman.
A 1-yard touchdown reception as they have taken the lead. That's an old-fashioned death march there, partner. Took them a lot of plays, but hey, they did the job.
And the defense always preaches getting off the field, making a play, and turning it back over to their own offense. Unable to do so. A long, sustained drive by the offense.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And the lead is now 14-10. So that one a long 11-play drive.
And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. So remember, Charles, last time they were out here, they scored, but they just saw the opposition score, and they're trailing right now, so they're trying to keep pace here. They need a touchdown drive.
Well, if you're a fan of offense, you're loving this, but if you're a fan of defense, this is tough to watch, and it's also tough to keep that up when you just watch your opponent march down the field on a scoring drive that lasts into double-digit snaps. You need a score here not just to follow the momentum from your last drive, but put the onus back on your opponent. And that's what they're doing right now, swapping that onus back and forth.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is going to be 3rd and 13. To throw, Mayfield.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And taken right on the 30.
1:58 left to play till we hit halftime.
Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. And now he's really knocking on the door for 700. That is career catch 699. Throwing now, Cutler on first down.
And this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis.
And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
A lot of bodies there in the middle of the field, and that one intercepted.
Yeah, he's looking for his tight end running a drag route across the field, and normally you'd like him to work a little bit further outside. Here the throw is a little early, and it winds up in the hands of the defender.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They'll have good field position at midfield following the turnover as they start with a first down here.
Following the interception, Mayfield firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Mayfield on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Here's second and a yard.
Mayfield down. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
T.J. Edwards gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A.
Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors they have to look at to try and help out. But you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
A 38-yard attempt.
The kick by Carlson is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
There's McCole Hardman as he brings this offense onto the field yet again.
You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, you know, allocating extra resources to try and stop the guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I will use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through some people and kind of get natural picks in order to work his way open. He wants to get that 1,000, and he doesn't want any less passes to come to his direction.
We'll begin in Orchard Park, an AFC East matchup between Miami and Buffalo. And they are just about ready to head to halftime with the Dolphins on top. 2 touchdown passes there for Tua Tagovailoa. From there, we head on over to Wisconsin to check on the Packers at home at Lambeau Field. And they've got the lead over the visiting Chicago Bears. Jahan Dotson, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. C.D. Lamb, a touchdown reception. On now to a check on the next-gen stats in the first half for the Raiders. And their passing game has been the reason why they lead thus far. They've had great success moving the ball through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for our home team, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter.
And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the 3rd quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Throwing here, Cutler. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yes.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Cutler.
Throw right side, going to be caught by Hardman.
Complete to Nicole Hardman. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
To throw again is Cutler. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. He'll take this to the 46.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Cutler. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
55 rushing yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 1st and 10, it's Cutler. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches.
On the handoff, this is Jake. Now the ball comes loose. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to the positive side this time. Yeah, there was a fumble at the end of this one, but what a sustained drive. And if they keep stringing those together, you got to like their chances.
And credit the defense, though. You're out there for that long, you start to get tired, but they were able to get the turnover.
Did you just credit the defense?
I like to credit the defense and the offense.
I like you.
And the analysts.
That's perfect.
Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
You'd think defenses might be a little more prepared for plays like this, because so many offensive coordinators, when they get the ball after a turnover, they do like to dial up a deep ball right away. And if I were a defensive coordinator in this league, that's exactly what I would say to my defense before they went out to play. In this case, though, they didn't get the message, and a big play resulted.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. It's Holmes, and able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. On second down now, it's Holmes, and this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield.
That's into the hands of Tutu Atwell. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
On first down, Holmes. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Looking to throw on second down, Mayfield.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Here's Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the cover here? They saw a breakout on 3rd down. Dime defense. Extra defensive backs and speed. Unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2. On second down, here's Cutler. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To throw, Cutler. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Well, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Mayfield knocks this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30.
What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
And one thing about a play like this, if it's slow to develop, it can turn out poorly. And this play was definitely slow in developing. And that was one heck of an effort to sprint over there and get the man down before he could make anything happen.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Up the middle they go. It's Holmes. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
And on now is the punter, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now, what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense, because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Jacobs now.
And he'll power his way up near the 25.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
3rd and 2, now Cutler. Now Cutler in trouble. He lost the football. It's going the other way. So he went out of the pocket left, and then things got dicey.
And what often happens is when they get outside, they want to keep their eyes downfield in order to try and complete a pass. But when they try to make a play, they've got to get their footwork involved, and that can really mess them up as well. And in this case, nothing went right, and the ball got knocked free.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Now a give right side. Holmes. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Barons have taken the lead here this 3rd quarter.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Robert Saleh, one to take chances. His guys will go for 2 here.
Mayfield going to try to throw for the 2. Being chased out left. And he will find the end zone here, and the lead moves up to 7. And with a successful 2-point try, the QB rolling out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass.
Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account for him, because oftentimes that is the unaccounted for player.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
Taken in at the 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Las Vegas' offense back out there, ready to go. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. On 3rd down, Cutler. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
At the 28-yard line, a 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
To throw again on second down, Mayfield. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. Mayfield from the gun on third down. Buying time to his left. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So they bring out their punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Taken in at the 22. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Now Cutler. Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Cutler. Completes it to Davis. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Back now just east of Manhattan in Brooklyn, as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. 2nd time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Joseph Osai drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack as a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
They bring their punter out there now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Taking on the midfield logo. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Cutler. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. Running it with Jacobs. Down inside the 10. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 80 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Another carry for the Raider and a good one. It's crushed time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Play action, Cutler, and this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Mecole Hardman, his second touchdown of the afternoon, and the Raiders are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. A first down throw from Mayfield. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's Holmes, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped, but what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, ends up spilling it for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. Holmes, and he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
It's a gain of 3.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Throwing now, Cutler on 1st down. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 6. brings up 2nd and 4 at the 20.
Throwing here, Cutler. And finding Davis here, the tight end. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They'll throw on first down with Cutler. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jacobs.
The first down pass complete to Josh Jacobs. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Here's Cutler to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. They give him a gain of 37.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They run it with Jacobs. Down to the 22-yard line. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, it's Cutler. And he hits the tight end, it's Davis. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
I'm not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
Ball start. Offense.
Colton Miller, former first-round pick, called for the penalty there.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Now Cutler. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6.
The field goal is good.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. This offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch him drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Looking middle, and that's complete.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line.
On the carry, it's Holmes.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
1 yard.
Mayfield now.
Brings up second and 9.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Mullins. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That's a gain of 5.
Now Mayfield.
Third and 4.
And that is incomplete. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. We've seen some big kicks in the NFL the last few years, and that one might just rank right up there.
And you know you can hear the crowd react, right? But I was focused in on the sideline and watched them absolutely erupt. I don't know how many of them thought that he was actually going to make that kick, but how about how they felt when the ball went over the post?
Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment.
Responsible for well over 100 yards of total offense, but still hasn't found the end zone. You think that's in the back of his mind going into this drive?
It's always in the back of the mind of a player who's having that type of a day, because you want that gratification for your work, right? You want that stamp on top of everything. But bottom line for him, he's doing great work. Sometimes it just opens it up for other people to actually get into the end zone for him.
The runners, you know, would they rather have 60 yards, 3 touchdowns, or 150 no touchdowns?
I think more than likely 150 and no touchdowns. But all the runners that I know would say, I'll take 150 and 3 touchdowns. They're greedy that way.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. Now it's Cutler. And that is incomplete. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. A nice little juke. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. On second down, it's Holmes. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And they're facing a big third down now in this tie ball game. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And some room to run now. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a handoff up the middle. Holmes. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. On second down now, it's Holmes. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there.
His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Barons have broken our tie and have taken a fourth quarter lead.
And that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to go with a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
Taking it about the 1. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. So the Raiders now down by 7. At time, a huge factor. They need a touchdown and the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing now is Cutler. Finding Hardman. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now it's Cutler. Able to connect with Jacobs. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Here's Cutler. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down. Cutler to throw. That is incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Catch is made by Hardman. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Back to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Yes, sir, that touchdown puts them in striking distance. And let me tell you something, forget being conservative here. Go for it, go for 2.
Well, going for it on the road. Want to win it right now?
Well, win it right now, have the momentum, go ahead and get it done.
Extra point try now for Patterson. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Patterson now for the extra point. And we may very well be headed to overtime.
That ties the game, 31-31.
A drive that time of 6 plays. And the touchdown and PAT mean we are tied here in the final minute of play. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the save calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
Joseph Osai in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. Well, they fought hard to reach this point, Charles, and now what an opportunity. They've got the ball first, a chance to take this overtime win away from the hostile crowd.
And you know, as the quarterback steps into the huddle, the first thing he's telling his team is, remember, we need 6, not 3. So we don't need a good drive. We need a great drive. And this is what they've been planning for. It's time to execute and take it downfield, even against all these odds.
25 yards there on the catch and run.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Going on the ground with Jacobs. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs.
Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
What will they draw up to try to keep this opening drive of overtime moving? 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, Cutler. Oh, and it's intercepted.
Sauce Gardner picks it off.
And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line.
Well, that's a tough one right there, CD. They fought back to tie it, to send it to overtime, had all the momentum, and then that interception.
That fighting spirit, those fighting plays that got them back into it, maybe a little too aggressive there, throwing the interception, and now they've opened the door to get beat by a field goal coming back the other way.
The home side once again ready to take over offensively. One team squandered opportunity. It's another team's chance to win this thing. They forced that clutch turnover, and now all they need is a field goal here to win this ball game.
Could not be set up much better, could they? A takeaway on defense. Now it's up to that offense to find a way to put themselves in position for the game-winning points. Touchdown, field goal, they don't care. Just find a way to win it.
At the 43-yard line.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield. Throwing middle, and it's complete.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Mayfield on 1st down. And he rifles one incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Brings up 3rd and
Here's Mayfield. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
That's not the first time they've looked his way when they've needed a big play. He's been the go-to guy all game long. And they get the hook up again on 3rd down to keep this drive alive.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Mayfield. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
This is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
A run now with Holmes.
Give him 3 yards on the run. Now they'll need to drop something good here on 3rd and 13.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up
Mayfield to throw it.
And he will find Atwell. That's complete.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. Calling a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
Mayfield looks to throw. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. We needed extra time to decide this one. The rushing score and OT finishes it off, but all throughout, really just a great game to witness.
I agree, and the whole time we were watching and working on this game, I had it in the back of my head. We could get to overtime. Just the way this game went, the ebb and flow of it all, and then to get there and finish it what I would call old school way, a running play, because in today's NFL, we throw the ball to ring the bell, don't we?
Not there. They ran it in. And again, just a great, great game that we bore witness to.
So for the home team here, the final 3 weeks are going to tell the story as they move to 9-5 on the year.
And they'll get another home date next week as the Patriots will come to town.
Meanwhile, for Las Vegas,
they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos.